I'm Kathy Oster. I'm the Director of Counseling, and I'm here with my wonderful and impressive colleagues who are the leaders of the departments, and they're going to share some information about their courses. Please know that this is really intended just to be an overview. We have lots of information on the website. As the school counselors, we're here to help with the overview, the planning, answer any questions you might have, and all of the department leaders are going to give you their contact information as well. So with that, the course selection timeline, the kids are going to have a kickoff to course selection and advisory on Wednesday. So they'll be getting an overview of what they need to do, which is a lot of investigation and thinking and planning. We have specific days called course conversation days where the teachers and the students will have an opportunity to discuss the classes that the teachers are recommending for next year. We encourage students to share with their teachers the classes they hope to be in, and if there is a discrepancy between what the teacher feels like they're going to recommend and what the student is hoping for, to really talk that out so that the student has a clear understanding of why the teacher made the recommendation they made, so the teacher understands that the student is very motivated to take on a challenge, and then if there continues to be difference, you as their parents can get involved, speak with the school counselors, with the department chairs, because ultimately we want students to be placed in the classes that are best for them. On February 5th, the Aspen portal will open to you so that you'll be able to see the teacher recommendations. It will remain open for editing purposes until the Sunday of February break. So we're hoping that that will give you some time to speak with your children, to ask questions, to get some answers, for whether it's from your child, from the teacher, from the department chair, from the school counselor, and enter some information in Aspen. At that point, on the 23rd, the portal will close for students to edit their course requests. But we'll still be working through this process because the students will have individual meetings with their school counselors between February 24th and March 21st. And then on March 21st, just to give you a little bit of insight into what happens here, we're collecting course requests, right? We're spending a lot of time talking about what the options are, the process to submit the request, and then we collect the requests. If there's level down forms or waiver forms, all that has to be in by March 21st, and then we don't really have access to the Aspen requests anymore. We work together to see how many sections we're going to build in the master schedule and how many teachers we have and how many requests were made. And then all of that is put together. The framework is built, the requests are loaded in, and then probably end of May, beginning of June, we'll know what the master schedule is and what classes have been scheduled for the 25-26 school year. We are asking students to make an appointment with their school counselor. We have 2 wonderful administrative assistants in the counseling office here, and if a student just comes in and says, I'd like to make a scheduling appointment with my school counselor, they'll make sure it's at a time when the students are free and the counselors are available, and we'll know to expect them. So I mentioned a couple times that we want people to explore and collect information and make informed decisions, and I really want to just highlight the high school website, the district website actually. We've all been working on making sure that we have a lot of information about our programs on the website. Specific information. We were joking a bit, I'm going to talk about my department and how great it is, and they're going to talk about their departments and how great they are. But this slide is really just saying that the counseling page of the high school website has all the information that we're sharing today and that we'll share with students and that I'll send home in an email. So if you ever want to go back and look at what are the graduation requirements, what does it mean, STEM, humanities, fine and practical arts. There's the course catalog on there, which has a description and explains the prerequisites. And also for more information, just to make sure that you're talking to the teacher. You know, our teachers put a lot of thought into the recommendations that they make. We really, really want students to be in a place where they can meet with success. And I know there's a lot of pressure on students today to take very challenging classes or to take the hardest classes that exist in the high school where they attend. And I think that's taken out of context sometimes. Students need to build a program where they can meet with success. And if that looks different than their siblings or different than their friends, that's okay for them. We want them to take challenging classes, but not necessarily every challenging class that we offer at Darien High School. It's an opportunity for them to pursue their passions and to pursue their interests. I do just want to add that we had 2 different panels of students, of alumni, come in this year, and both times, if I were going to pick one thing to walk away with, they said they wish they took more time to take classes they enjoyed. Not to say they didn't enjoy, challenging English, math, history, language classes, but we have such great electives, and just to be able to take a break in their day and to do something that they enjoy, they wish they had done that. So that's a little sliver of their suggestions. Just to emphasize balance, students, when you think about choosing a schedule, maybe a student is capable of taking honors classes in the 5 core academic areas, but each one of those areas comes with dedication and work and hours and effort, and maybe in a silo, they could do each one of those courses, but when you put it all together and then combine extracurricular activities or family commitments or just time with family and friends or sleep, we don't want them to sacrifice those other areas to take all of the hardest classes we offer. So balance is a really important message we're going to send. All right, and I think with that, I'm going to invite my colleague from Social Studies, Mr. Cabrera, up to talk about his department.
Good morning. Thanks again for being here. I want to take the opportunity to thank the DHSPA for I've been here for like 20 years, so I've had so many beautiful luncheons brought to us by the Darien High School Parents Association, so thank you for all of that. I'm new to the role, so please forgive me. I'm also a little hoarse. I'm fighting a sinus infection, but I wanted to share with you some of the courses that we offer for our students. I'm going to begin with the full year AP courses. So we have AP European History, AP Human Geography, AP Microeconomics, and AP Psychology. AP Psych is the newest of these offerings. These are open courses, so any student who chooses to sign up for them can. Obviously, there are restrictions based on grade level. And on the other side of the slide there, you'll see that we have a Black, African American, and Latino Puerto Rican Studies course, which not an AP course, but a full year course that is offered to our students. I guess I would reiterate what Kathy has just said about if these courses are something that your child is interested in, passionate about, I would suggest pursuing them. I would not suggest pursuing them if they're not that interested in them. So sometimes I know parents and students are driven by the AP at the beginning of the course. And I understand that college admissions process and competitiveness factor into the decision making. But if the only reason that the student's taking it is because of the first 2 letters there, I don't think they'll have a positive experience with the course. If they like the subject matter, if they have interest in it, then it will make the course that much easier in that at least, the challenge is met with the interests of the student. So just a little caveat on the AP courses. I mean, I'm biased because obviously I'm a history teacher. I love these courses. I love all the courses that we offer, but it's it's a much more difficult course to teach when the students in the room are only there because they feel pressured to be there, as opposed to they have some interest or something that drives them to be there of their own accord. We also have a great selection of semester-long courses that I would recommend, especially if you have a student who feels like they're not quite ready for an AP, but they want to kind of dip their toe in the water. Urban Studies is a fantastic course, and we made a slight adjustment here because it is a very practical kind of hands-on course where the kids actually go into New York City. They're broken up into groups, and they kind of get some exploration time. It's a kind of a real-world skills kind of course in that they are having to learn to navigate the city on their own, and they get to learn about art and architecture and the design of cities, so fantastic course. Economics is a survey course, which, again, if econ is something a student is interested in, I would suggest maybe a semester-long survey is a way to get their feet wet without having to commit to the intensity of an AP course. Philosophy, very similar kind of semester-long look at it. Psychology, another one where we have the AP section, and sometimes students feel like, oh, I want to go right for the AP, but it's a good idea to maybe just try something out that's a semester-long first before committing to the full year AP. Contemporary Issues is more of a current events type of course. It's very discussion-based, so we have a lot of students who are passionate. They have a lot of strong opinions. Contemporary Issues is a great course for those kinds of students who like a discussion. It's not for the wallflower. It's not for the kid who doesn't like to speak in class. Contemporary Issues, great course. America Since 45. AP Microeconomics, Black African American Studies, Latino and Puerto Rican Studies. These are all also semester-long courses. The one that might stand out there is the AP. It's the only course that is offered as a semester-long AP course. So the reasoning for that is that the units are less kind of math-based units. They're bigger picture kind of topics. So it's not a course that really is needed a full year for. So that's the rationale. And the Black African American Studies and the Latino Studies course, it can be offered separately. So if we have students sign up for one but not the other, then instead of running a full year course, we could run it as a semester-long course. So we like to kind of put it out there that that's possible. And then America Since 45, which I mentioned, is an American history course that focuses more on the modern era. So this is interesting for kids because they can talk to parents and grandparents who've experienced a lot of the things that they learn about in the course. And it's much more focused on things like popular culture and things that are kind of greater interest to students. I'm just going to go back a quick second here. I don't even know if I introduced myself. That's how out of it I am with this sinus infection. But my name is Dennis Cabrera. I hope you can tell that I'm really enthusiastic about the courses that we offer and the social studies. So if you have questions or if you really feel like you want to know more about why we offer what we offer, I'm always happy to talk about our classes and our teachers and our programs. So feel free to reach out to me via email, have a phone conversation, whatever works best for you. But I really hope that your kids sign up for our courses. You're going to hear from my colleagues, and we were talking about this beforehand. I think our classes are the best. They're going to probably say the same thing, but just remember, listen to me and not them. Our classes are the best. So I guess I'll give some time to science here. Thank you.
Thank you. You guys are too kind. My name is Christian Dockham, and I'm the science department chair and for the middle and high school. And as Dennis mentioned, I think we all feel that our classes deserve an ample amount of time to discuss. But I also know that there's a few of us behind me, so I'll try to do this as expedited as possible. I just want to sort of give a general sense of our core science pathways and where your student might be right now in this process of DHS and their high school experience in our department. So all of our ninth graders take a biology class, so either our Biology 9 or a Biology 9 honors. And as they move from ninth grade into 10th grade, the choices for our 10th grade science requirement are either Earth Science or our chemistry program, so Chemistry 10 and Chemistry 10 honors. At the bottom, you'll see there's a very long box that's our Authentic Science Research elective, and that's a unique elective in our department because it's the only elective that starts during our 10th grade program. And I'll spend a little bit of time talking about that in a moment. And after the 10th grade year, and our students meet the core science requirement courses, so either biology in Earth Science or a biology in a chemistry class, everything after that is what we would consider to be an elective. And so after the 10th grade year, the science program that your child experiences is really dictated on what they're interested in, what levels they are interested in taking, the rigor at which they're interested, and the depth at which they're interested in taking the science courses that we have. So it really, to piggyback on what's been said already, the leveling and the interest is based on the performance and what your student is going to choose as they make their way through our program. Our ASR, as I said, is probably our most unique elective in the department. It is a fully interest-based elective where the student is in charge of determining what they are studying. It is a 3-year commitment, meaning that it starts in 10th grade, and we fully expect our students to make that commitment to the course for 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. And that commitment is really important because this process this course is based on the research and the scientific inquiry process that students would experience at the college level. And so to sort of go over the course, the 10th grade year is really about research methodology. So they're really diving into reading scientific articles, doing lit reviews, researching different topics, and trying to really hone in on where their unique interest lies during that sophomore year. During junior year, they start to develop an individual project, and so this is where they really start putting their interests into practice. And so they further are researching other research that is tied to their interests, making connections to the greater scientific community, and really trying to set up their research for the summer between their junior and senior year. And we expect all of our students to find a mentor outside of the building within the field that they're interested in. And honestly, almost all of our students go out during the summer in between junior and senior year and work with their mentor in whatever research capacity that their mentor is focused on. So whether that's medical, or we've had people working with NASA and Yale and NYU. So we have students throughout the country, really, and throughout the world, working with real scientists in their field. And then their senior year is dedicated to developing a project and communicating their results. So they spend time developing, their methodologies and putting together their poster board, and then going to competitions and communicating their results of their individual resources in both competitions, and then at our year-long science symposium at the end of their senior year. So to really benefit from the course, there has to be that 3-year-long commitment. Another unique piece about this course is that it is open to any of our students. Any ninth grader can apply. There is a requirement that you take a biology class. It doesn't matter the level. And there is a written application that includes a writing sample that really allows students to explain what they're passionate about, what their interests are, why they want to be part of this 3-year-long commitment. And you may be thinking like that any kid could benefit from that, right? This really is for a student who has like a very unique or has throughout their lives shown a very narrow interest in, maybe they have a favorite dinosaur that they know everything about, right? Or maybe they are like love to learn how roller coasters work, and like that's what they've been focused on. And so something that they can like really focus on independently throughout their high school career and become literally an expert in that particular field. And that can be something that we have in our courses, or it can be something that is completely independent of what we teach here in our department. That electives bin that you saw on the first slide, it really can be broken down into our one semester electives and our full year electives. As you see, our electives are based on interest, so we really have a robust offering based on what students are interested in for our semester electives. Our full year electives are both physics and physics honors, and we just introduced a new anatomy and physiology class this year that is going extremely well, and we certainly would expect that to continue. One new semester elective that just was approved by our Board of Education is astronomy. So again, we went through the process of surveying our students, and that was the interest course that rose to the top. And so our electives are based on what our students are interested in pursuing. Again, our advanced placement opportunities, again, our electives. These would be conversations that your student would have with their teachers about whether or not they feel it's an appropriate placement. But for the most part, these are second year classes. So your student has already taken biology. Your student has already taken chemistry. Your student may have already taken physics. And so they'll know if they're passionate and interested in moving forward and learning more about that subject. Our one AP opportunity that is not a second year course is environmental science. And what we see is students knowing that they're interested in the environment and knowing they're interested in the interactions between the humans and our environment as a whole. So again, these are very interest-based and really, even though they're more rigorous, if you are interested in chemistry, that would be an opportunity to dive down deeper into that content area. So that gives you sort of a where your students are coming from, what opportunities your students have as they move through our program. As Dennis mentioned, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to your students' teachers. They know everything there is to know about our sequence and where your student may fit in. And I'm happy to answer any more general questions about the department. And thank you for being here.
Good morning. Thank you. Hi, I'm Ronnie Rodier. I'm the math chair for grades 6 through 12. And what you see on the screen there, that QR code, that's going to lead you to the math website. The math website actually will have a tremendous amount of information that you might want to look into. As Kathy mentioned, the counseling website has stuff as well. But for my particular website, it's going to go a deep dive into the curriculum if you're interested for all the electives that I'm going to be highlighting today. Regardless where the students begin their math journey here, the foundational courses most students take are Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. There are options that await them in the future. And these advanced courses primarily focus on calculus and statistics, offering opportunities to deepen understanding and explore new dimensions in the best field ever, mathematics. Our statistics electives equip students with invaluable skills in collecting, analyzing, and interpreting data. Both the 300 level stats and the AP stats, as we like to call them lovingly, are courses that provide a strong foundation in statistical concepts and methods. Favorite among seniors is probability and statistics. That really engages students in a real-world application such as determining outcomes in casino games, conducting taste tests, analyzing news data, designing games of chance. I mean, I know you want to be part of that course, so you can understand why our students do too. For those seeking a more rigorous experience, however, AP Statistics delves deeper into topics like descriptive statistics, probability, inferential statistics, regression analysis, and experimental design. Students with strong logical reasoning skills and an interest in working with data really do find AP Statistics to be an excellent fit, particularly those who are considering careers in social sciences. This course emphasizes the application of statistical methods, really to make informed decisions across various fields, providing tools that are increasingly valuable in today's data-driven world. Calculus, on the other hand, offers students the opportunity to explore the mathematics of change and accumulation. This discipline is particularly well-suited for students that are pursuing STEM fields or those looking to challenge themselves mathematically. Foundational topics like limits, derivatives, and integrals provide insights into complex systems in physics, engineering, economics, and more. To meet the needs of every learner, we do offer multiple levels of pre-calculus and calculus. Pre-calculus at the college prep level, at the honors level, calculus at every level that you can see there on the screen at the college prep level, at calculus AB, calculus BC, those are at the AP level. We even offer multivariable calculus. Every possible level of calc is offered here at the high school. Our alumni often share how well prepared they feel for college level calculus after completing any of these courses. It's an incredible experience, and many of our students do go the calculus path. For students who wish to continue their math journey but don't necessarily feel ready for the rigor of statistics or calculus, we do offer college math. College math is an elective designed to strengthen the foundational skills for students so they can be well prepared for their college courses as well. Finally, for our most passionate math enthusiasts, some students opt to enroll in both statistics and calculus, and we call affectionately these students our DHS math rock stars. And we are thrilled to support them as they explore the full breadth of advanced math offerings that we have. But no matter which path your student takes in our department, we're committed to ensuring that they're prepared for success in their future endeavors. Bottom line, do math, do anything.
Good morning. Well, with all due respect to my colleagues, I have to say we finally get to the good stuff, the English department. In all good fun, I am so thrilled to be here this morning. My name is Kristen Colonies, and I am new to the position. Like so many of my colleagues here, I've been teaching at the middle school for the past 15 or so years, and I am beyond thrilled to be part of the high school family now because I get to speak to you about all the wonderful opportunities that await your child, your student, at the high school. My information is here. I really encourage you to reach out should you have any questions, and like my colleagues, the QR code will take us to our website where you'll find lots of information about placement and course descriptions and things like that. I'll give you a quick overview though. As you're likely aware, one of the beauties and strengths about our department is the flexibility that students have to move between courses and levels of challenge across their years at DHS. And I'd like to echo the sentiment that's been given a couple of times so far this morning. We really want to encourage that balance. While the drive to kind of build that resume of AP courses and honors courses is very strong and very appealing, we also really want to make sure our students are doing something that they find inspiring and that they're excited about and passionate about, because that's really where the learning and growth is going to happen. The great thing about our department also is that you have that flexibility in movement. So if 1 year isn't your year to take that most advanced course, it doesn't mean you're done for. There are plenty of opportunities in your future, and we encourage students to look for the options that are best for them. In addition to our core classes, the department offers a wide variety of electives across the grade levels that are really crafted to appeal to the students' interests and give them space to wonder, to grow, and to create beyond the traditional classroom structure in English class. The department's collection of electives that are open to students across grade levels include our Media Studies elective, which really appeals to the journalistic interests. We even offer a blended class where students meet both in person and work asynchronously. It gives them the opportunity to explore their interests independently while working in a collaborative fashion as well. Our creative writing courses, of course, allow students to break away from more structured writing pieces that they might find in their traditional English classes and learn how that their words can express their creative side, while writing with purpose focuses more on practical types of writing, things like writing a resume or working on that college essay. Our performance-based electives really speak to those students who are interested in getting up out of their seats and bringing the word to life on the stage. Learning about how a production might be developed from words on a page all the way through to the production, and are ready to maybe break away from the reading and writing of the traditional English classroom. We also, of course, offer our advanced placement course for students looking to continue that challenge in a more academic setting. Our seniors have two possible pathways. The world really opens up for them at that point, and we want to encourage them to exercise that independence in choosing something that perhaps they wouldn't explore otherwise, or perhaps they wouldn't get an opportunity to explore until they were more specialized in, of course, their English major in college. They might choose to explore, they might choose to take a one-semester elective, which are listed here. And I have to say, I'm really excited to be at the high school for the opportunity to audit as many of these as I can. Food and travel, come on, right? Sports and lit, the lettered athlete, all of these courses are appealing and really speak to both the teacher's interests, the teacher's enthusiasm about the topic, and hope that their students are choosing these courses based on what they're interested in. If our seniors choose a one-semester elective, they also need to be taking our capstone elective. And this course is really a culminating experience, asking students to reflect on their experiences at DHS as they get ready to embark into the world beyond our kind of supports here. And we ask them to think about what exactly does it mean to be an educated citizen in our world today. The other pathway for our seniors includes our AP classes. If your student did not take AP Lang in 11th grade, they do have the opportunity to take it in 12th grade. They also have the option to take AP Lit. And again, that one is really driven for those students who have English in their blood and are driven to speak about literature and are planning to pursue additional avenues in the English world beyond high school. I would encourage you to reach out should you have any questions. Contrary to the English world, I'm going to be trying to be a little short-winded for you here. But I also want to highlight a colleagues class. Carrie McKay offers a class called Reading and Study Skills. And this is a great course for any student, really. It focuses on those skills of how to student well, so to speak. So thinking about study skills, thinking about developing certain reading skills, how to organize your time. And so there are a lot of great options in that course as well. And I know that Ms. McKay and our counseling department can speak more clearly to that as well, or more specifically to that as well. Okay, I'm going to pass it over to my colleague.
No, the clicker was upside down. Good morning. It's fine. My name is Colleen Thompson. I'm the pre-K through 12 Director of Visual Art and Music. This is my first year in the role for art, so I will do my best to represent my colleagues as well as I can. On the first slide, you can see a few exemplars from students in our program who were chosen for the 2025 Scholastic Art Awards. The complete list and images of our Scholastic winners will be included in February's DHS happenings. Next is a brief overview of our course offerings. In visual art, we have 23 courses available to students, and there are 3 main pathways: drawing and painting, ceramics and sculpture, or digital and photography. Students can reach an AP or honors level course through either of the pathways, and they're encouraged to try a wide variety of art electives, and they're able to move between pathways based on personal interest. This slide is a matrix of our course offerings, including prereqs. This matrix is available on our district curriculum website. If you click on art, you can see the course descriptions for each art course, and there's a link to this matrix there. The drawing and painting path is one option for students. They begin with art foundations and then digital drawing and design. In these courses, students focus on skill development, trying a wide variety of mediums and creative solutions to class projects. Students will gain more knowledge with working in acrylic, watercolor, pencil, oil pastel, chalk pastel, and most importantly, idea development. In digital drawing and design, students will learn how to use the Wacom tablet with Photoshop and Illustrator to create digital art pieces. This course is a prereq in both the drawing and painting pathway and the photo design pathway to AP Art and Design. And this digital course counts as a STEM credit for students as well. After digital drawing and design, students can continue through the drawing and painting pathway to AP Art and Design. We also have 2 standalone semester courses in this pathway, drawing and printmaking. In the ceramics and sculpture path, students typically start with Ceramics 1, and it's a very popular course. In this year-long course, students focus on hand-building techniques and learning how to throw on the pottery wheel. If they can't fit this elective in a full-year elective into their schedule, clay sculpture is a half-year course that explores only hand-building techniques. And for students who love ceramics, they typically continue through this pathway to the AP 3D course. Additionally, we have 2 standalone courses in this pathway: historical art making and sculpture. Next, I'll describe our photography and digital path. We offer darkroom photography, which is a wonderful opportunity for students to explore this traditional medium and learn how to use film and an SLR camera. Students are able to continue through these courses to take AP 2D in photography. Another popular course in the department is Digital Photography 1. In this course, students will learn about photography, how to control and create and capture a great shot, and how to express themselves and their ideas through the digital camera. Photography is a medium that's accessible to all students who want to take an art class but maybe aren't confident with their hands-on skills. After Digital Photo 1, students can continue on to Digital Photo 2, and both of these courses are 1 semester and they count toward the STEM graduation requirement. Continuing in our digital pathway, another option is graphic design. In this course, students learn how to use Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop to create original designs and images. And they create several projects that address design issues, including poster and product design and using the elements and art and principles of design. After graphic design, the next course is digital drawing and design. And I've already described that one, and both of those are semester courses that count toward the STEM requirement as well. So in summary, those are the courses available in our visual art department. Next, I'll talk briefly about the performance ensembles and the other music electives at DHS.
We're going to do morning announcements at some point, so when they stop and stand for the pledge, we'll just pause.
Okay. I just learned that we're going to stop and stand for the pledge when it's time, so we'll take a pause then. We offer, so here are just some photos of our performers from this year. We offer full-year ensemble classes for band, chorus, and orchestra. And while most students continue on with their ensemble from middle school, Students can enroll for the first time in 10th grade and beyond. It's also possible for students to take more than one ensemble class without overloading their schedule. So for example, if a student wants to take both band and chorus or both orchestra and chorus, they can do so by spending the first half of the period in one class and the second half in the other. This option requires the approval of the instructor. Students in ensembles are required to participate in evening concerts. They are announced well in advance, and there's typically one per quarter. In addition to full-year performance ensembles, we offer several one-semester classes that are open to 9th through 12th graders. Guitar ensemble is open to interested guitar students at any ability level, from those who are new to the instrument to those who are more experienced players. We provide guitars for students to play at school. We offered this course for the first time last year, and it was very popular running both semesters. Unfortunately, this year we didn't have enough requests to run the class. We really hope to run it next year, as it's a great class for students who might not have had an opportunity to learn an instrument before high school, or for those who want to branch out from the instruments they already play. Music theory is a non-performance class in the fundamentals of music: ear training, harmony, form and analysis, sight reading, composition. It's open to students at any level of musicianship, but is especially important for students who are considering pursuing music at the college level. This semester course provides the foundation for AP Music Theory, which is offered as a full-year course in grades 10 through 12. Students who have strong musicianship skills through private study or DHS ensembles may enroll in AP Music Theory without taking the semester music theory course, with the permission of Mr. Grauer, who can provide them with a placement test. Music technology is a non-performance class that introduces students to sound design, digital music composition and arranging, and will allow them to train with live audio equipment, developing skills to work on real-world tech crews and in music studios. And this is a great option for students who are interested in principles of sound design and want to get a better understanding of how things work behind the scenes for music and theater performances. Theatrical storytelling and design is our newest course, and this is interdisciplinary with the drama department. In this course, students learn to adapt scenes from plays and musicals from different perspectives. Examples of units include set design, costuming, sound design, lighting, and projection design. The class will utilize multiple spaces in the music wing, including the auditorium, where students will learn how to utilize newly installed state-of-the-art theater technology, including the LED video wall. We are very excited about this course, which just kicked off for the first time this semester, and we encourage students who are interested in theater technology to enroll. All of the classes described count toward graduation requirements in fine and practical arts or humanities, and the music tech course and the theatrical storytelling and design course are available for STEM credit, which is important to note, as students must take 1 credit of fine or practical arts and 1 credit of STEM through the electives to fulfill graduation requirements. The last thing I want to highlight in the department are the co-curricular musical opportunities. These are for students who want more advanced work after school. They also could appeal to students who maybe can't fit an ensemble during the day, but are talented enough to audition for something after school. We also have a music honor society, and we have other opportunities like a Young Composers Concert coming up in April, and Theater 308, the musical and pit orchestra. We're doing Les Mis this year, so mark your calendars for the weekend of March 15th, and that will be really exciting. We understand that students have many opportunities for electives at DHS. We hope you'll encourage your student to spend some time in an art or music class, depending on what they plan to do. Is that it? Okay. All right. Depending on what they plan to do for college and career, I don't know how many of you were involved in music or art, but high school can be the last time that they have the opportunity to take an art class or to perform in an ensemble. And there's also a lot of research to suggest that students who participate in arts programs have better academic outcomes, and there are benefits to health and wellness that continue throughout adulthood. So thank you for listening, and we hope that this was helpful in the overview for art and music.
I'm waiting for the announcements to start. We were going to cancel them, but I said... Oh, you canceled them. All right, we are not doing announcements.
All right, very good. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott Webster. I'm K-12 World Languages Coordinator. This is my first year in this role. I'm really excited to be here with you this morning. Our ultimate objective in world languages is for students to confidently apply their language skills in real-world situations. At every level, we focus on strengthening all 4 skill areas: reading, writing, listening, and speaking through a comprehensive approach with the goal of advancing proficiency at each stage. This is a graphic of all of our courses, so hopefully it's not too overwhelming. It's digestible for you. As you probably know, we offer 5 languages at DHS: American Sign Language, French, Latin, Mandarin, and Spanish. And students may study these languages all 4 years here. Within each language, we offer a variety of pathways of study, including honors and advanced placement levels. If your kids study Spanish, we also are fortunate to offer an advanced course in art, which is actually a college-level course associated with the University of Connecticut. For a minimal fee, students are actually considered UConn students, complete with an ID and access to the library and all campus facilities. And they can earn credits that transfer to most universities. While we require 1 year of language study, over 80% of students study language for 4 years here. As with any field of study, we encourage students to consult with their counselors as well as colleges they're applying to for specific requirements and recommendations regarding their high school transcript. Student schedules can easily get pretty full, but studying more than 1 language is also an option. Similar to pursuing extra courses in STEM or the arts, if your child is passionate about languages, speak to their counselor and plan a path that supports this. Students have numerous opportunities to be recognized for their proficiency and to apply their language skills beyond the classroom. One of these is with the Seal of Biliteracy. This is a prestigious recognition of advanced language proficiency for which students are assessed beginning in most cases in their sophomore year. Impressively, nearly half of last year's graduating class attained this distinction. Your kids will take this exam in their language class and will have a chance to retake it in subsequent years if they do not pass 1 or more of the 4 sections. Students may also take the assessment in their heritage or native languages spoken at home to earn additional Seal of Biliteracy. Talk to me. I emailed you all in December about that, and if you didn't receive that, please reach out. Over the years, we have been able to accommodate an array of languages, including Russian, Hindi, Estonian, and more. Many students are also active members of our newly established National Language Honor Societies, where they fulfill service hours and apply their language skills in meaningful ways, like tutoring or translating. And you've also, have no doubt, heard about our popular international trips, which provide students with the unique opportunity to immerse themselves in the languages they are learning. Next year, we are proposing 2 trips to France and to Spain, and past destinations include Argentina, the Galapagos Islands, Italy, and France, among others. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to answering any questions that you might have.
Hi, I am not Greg Darren. I'm Russ Chapman. I work for Greg Darren. He was unfortunately wasn't able to be here today. So if you have any specific questions, you can email him on his email account. And at the end of the presentation, I'm going to put a little sheet for our pathways for engineering. They're kind of complex, and it depends what your child may or may want to do in engineering and technology. All right, where is it? All right, so we have a couple of main sub-departments within ours. One of them is in business education, and one of the first courses is investing in personal finance, and that's going to be a requirement for graduation in 2027. Accounting is a great course to take after that course. It kind of follows up, gets a little bit more in detail. Pre-law is, again, based on business, and they do an interesting mock trial where the kids do an actual type of law setup and trial and go through the law, and they get a little taste of that. It's fun. I've sat in on that. We try to do that in all our electives to kind of bring the real world kind of problems into it instead of just be purely like an academic course might be. Business and entrepreneurship. Again, it's business, but it's work. They work in groups to create a business. And what they did here, I sat in on theirs. They did a Shark Tank project where the kids were up here on the stage, and we had a group of community members that were sharks. And they were really good sharks because I thought they were going to be real easy on the kids, and they weren't at all. They asked them very sharp, pointed questions. It wasn't quite as good as maybe the production of Shark Tank, but it was excellent, and the kids got a lot out of it. After that, we have marketing essentials, which essentially advertise a product to a target demographic based on some kind of data. And then sports marketing is just a focus on sports for marketing. Now, the other thing with that is on marketing, it ties in pretty good. The next one is computer science, because almost everything is analytics, everything is data. It's super, super important that they know that, and they cover that in the marketing courses. So computer science, the half-year course we have focuses on Java programming, and it gives them a little basics of, like we go over binary numbers, real basic stuff. We do a little bit of programming. They write a couple of small programming programs, and they probably would have a hard time writing any program after this course. But what it's really good at, you kind of see what programming and coding is all about. It was a bigger deal a few years ago. It's starting to become a little bit different, but it's still how our world works. And it's interesting when they find out how, like even a small syntax error will completely nullify all the work they did on their program. So it's attention to detail, and the kids get a really good feel for if they want to follow up with more computer programming. So we have AP Computer Science, and again, on here it says, well, I guess we're good. Just want to make sure it's there. And that program, that's a very programming orientated computer science course. Again, it's AP, so it's pretty rigorous, and it's for kids who probably want to go into computer programming in college. The AP Computer Science Principles, on the other hand, is a really broad view of computer science. So we talk about internet, for instance, computers themselves. They even focus on CDs, as old as they are. That's still kind of relevant to know the history of how things have evolved. So they go through that, and then they go into, I think, about a month or so of programming. So it's a little bit more than the half-year course we have, but it's still pretty deep. Web app and development, they create a website, and then they create an app for that website. And cybersecurity is a brand new course we're going to offer next year. And again, that's pretty good for teaching kids how to safeguard their online activities and everything. And there's a lot to this. It's a real basic course right now, and I think we're trying to go a little further to make that more into, there's almost unlimited jobs in cybersecurity right now. So we're trying to get that over the next few years and to kind of follow that routine. All right, this is my thing, technology education. These are some of the courses I teach, so I'm a little bit more familiar with these. Application in physics and chemistry. It's a hands-on collaborative class that teaches kids STEM, and it's offered in 2 times throughout the year, in the spring and the fall. And it's really another collaborative class, and it's a really hands-on physics course. So they're not focusing as much as maybe the science classes would on the formulas and everything, but they're still kind of dabbing in that, but then they're doing like a real-world example of that and a hands-on activity. Woodworking 1 and 2. What can I say about that? I think it's I've been here 3 years, and that course I was like, wow, they started woodworking, and I see so much more value in woodworking now than I did maybe 3 years ago. It teaches the kids a lot of different things, even how to be safe, how to use machinery safe, how to approach things. Because it's really, when you see kids use things sometimes, they go up there with no knowledge of that's a dangerous tool. And after our course, they kind of get that. They learn fundamentals in math, on measuring. We're very, very particular on how they measure things. Even squaring up a piece of wood is kind of involved in how that happens. And they create a set activity. We make a little stool, and then they can make their own. And for kicks this semester, we had some of our woodworking kids How fast could you make a stool that took you an entire quarter last year or at the beginning of the semester to make? And they made it in one class period. The next day they came up and they said, I think we can make 3 stools in a class period. And they did it. And it was interesting to see how long it takes them to make a simple object. But at the end of it, they're fairly skilled and they have a lot more confidence. I teach that class. I enjoy it. The kids enjoy it. Fun. And DIY, do it yourself. When I got here, they said they had a DIY course. I've never heard of a high school that had a DIY course. And I was intrigued by that. It was, well, it's got to be a good thing to do. And so I ended up teaching that for the most part. And we do automotive, so we teach them how to change a tire. I go through a routine as basic as, driving down 95, you get a flat tire, what do you do? And none of them know the answer to that. Most people don't, is get off the highway, right? And they start saying, well, you loosen the lug nuts, or you do. And it's, no, get off the highway. So a lot of it's safety focused, but they also learn how to take care of their cars, and kids are routinely bringing their cars in. And that's what I love, when they have a problem and they can come in and they can fix. I had a student, he was all miffed because his tire was hissing. The tire was almost completely flat. He brought it in the garage, we put a plug in it, and he was good to go. They learn homeowners type stuff. They frame a wall. They put plumbing lines in there. They put shutoff valves. They put a sink in there. They do all this kind of stuff around the home. And I get a lot of feedback from them. But the one feedback I get from these kids that's comical is sheetrock repair. So after they do their wall, I go over and I punch a hole in the wall, right? I literally would just go, I make sure I don't hit behind a stud so I don't hurt myself. And they go, what are you doing? And it's like, no, now you got to repair that. But then the kids come down to me and they go, and it's always the same thing. I don't know why. I put a hole in the wall, Mr. Chapman, and my parents don't know about it. And I go, and it's always a door knob that going through the sheetrock. And it's like, all the kids just slam their doors open or something nowadays, because I think I've made 10 kits for them. So they come in, I said, well, how are you going to do it? I give them a little piece of sheetrock, a little bit of mud, let them borrow some tools, and they go and repair this hole. And they come back, and they're as happy as can be, because you don't know that they put a hole in the wall. None of you have found that out yet, and I'm waiting for the first parent to actually tell me that. But electronics, another cool course we have here. They teach multimeters, so they learn how to diagnose, like even check an outlet, how many volts there is on there, and amps. We build a little AM/FM radio, and these things aren't like necessarily like a science class, because you need the science to get if you want to be an engineer. But this gives them kind of like, this is what I want to do for a living, and then they end up taking a physics class in science. And they do AM/FM radio, they solder it, and they make it, and they're graded purely on, does it work? Does it make a noise? You get like a 90, right? And they get into this, and they learn all the little components for electronics, and we even do a little BattleBot thing, and they make a Bluetooth-controlled robot. Kind of cool stuff the kids liked a lot. Fundamentals of engineering. They teach them a lot of, fundamentals of engineering, I guess. I don't know how else I can do that. They do, again, hands-on activities for the design process. It's kind of like one of our first courses for engineering. Principles of engineering, I teach that, and we do, this is after they've done some of the other courses in engineering. So I have them now. I met my class yesterday, and they're going to build an electric car. They race an electrothon car, and they race at Lime Rock Park. So in the semester, they have to completely fabricate a car themselves. So the idea here is they're going to use all those engineering principles, some of the science principles, some of the math principles they learn in their class, and they're going to come to class and create a real-world problem. So there's no right answer, right? There's no cookbook on how to do this. And we're working in teams. So I was an engineer in a prior life, and I'm running this class this year like I'm the project engineer, and we're going to sit down and meet for 5 minutes, and then they're going to go off and do. Somebody's going to use the plasma cutters. Somebody's going to use the CNC. We have a water jet cutter, and we're going to try to fabricate this thing and get 15 high school students to try to make a car. I think we can do it, but we kind of made one last year, and again, really kind of real-world type class, and again, applying things they've learned through all these other courses they take here. Independent Projects and Engineering, IPI, it's called. That's all the kids call it. So they're for juniors and seniors, and they're ones who really have a focus on engineering. And FYI, I think 4 of the kids that took that last year, which I work with them too. I don't teach the course, Mr. Darren teaches that. 4 of them went to MIT. So, and they just get in there and sometimes they make really silly things, but sometimes they make phenomenal things. And we have a girl this year that designed a contraption for safety of schools, like a really simple lock. So if we have a lockdown, a teacher can simply go over, move a lock lever over, that's it. And it can only be open from the inside, and a bunch of different things. And they're trying to market that and maybe start making those things. It's a super simple design. Like you look at it and you go, why hasn't anybody thought of that? But there is nothing out there like that right now. So again, these kids are amazing. I love working with them. They're kind of an inspiration to me, some of the things they do. And the last one is video broadcasting. And again, that's just going to be, it's listed under media on program of studies, but it's basic producing of a pre-recorded TV or a live TV show. And I think, yes, that's our pathways. I have hard copies of those. I'll put on the table out in the hallway if you want to grab them, and you can click on this and you can get all the information. But again, it's fantastic what they offer here for electives. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Yes, so we wanted to stick to about an hour for this information today. I realize that it could be a little overwhelming because we have so many wonderful opportunities for students. So I just wanted to remind you that we are recording this morning, and this presentation, along with all of the department websites and information on the school counseling website, is going to help you in this process. I want to thank Brittany and Stephanie from the DHSPA for helping us organize this, and of course all my wonderful colleagues for the hard work they do and the information they shared today. We will all be available to answer questions if you have any, or I know we all have posted our contact information. I just want to also let you know that I'm going to send an email out, so you'll have all the information that the students are getting in advisory on Wednesday. And I think there might be some parents of 8th graders in the audience. I forgot to acknowledge this at the beginning. I know that information was shared with 8th graders. This really is designed to be for current high school students. So if you feel like we missed the 8th grade transition, it's because we have a whole night dedicated to that. So that'll be on Wednesday night at 7 p.m. here for parents of 8th grade students who are coming up to the high school. So thank you all. If you have a specific question about a class or placement, we really encourage the students to talk to their teachers about that. Actually, I think we're just going to encourage communication, encourage conversations and communications throughout this whole process. And we want the students to speak with their teachers. We want the students to meet with their counselors. We want the students to talk to you, their parents, and of course, if you have any questions, you can reach out to us. As department leaders and teachers, they have core content information. If you have questions about people mentioning graduation requirements, STEM requirements, things like that, the school counselors can help plan that 4-year program and answer any questions you might have about meeting those graduation requirements. And then this is my contact information, and I think that will conclude our presentation today, but we'll all be available up here if you have any questions for us this morning. So thank you and happy Friday.